Hello and welcome back. This is our final of our orientation videos, and it will highlight the 3-year plan element of our simulation. The 3-year plan is submitted twice throughout the simulation. The first time it will be completed for year 14, and the second time in year 17, and it will cover the 3 subsequent years for each. This is a forecast and is to be used by potential investors as well as an exercise for you to think beyond the day-to-day operations of your company and instead to focus on the long-term direction of your business. It includes 4 elements: a strategic vision, performance targets, your strategic approach, and operating projections. And it will be accessed from the corporate lobby. As you see, this is our timeline of all of the years that we will be completing decisions for. You've already completed year 11 and 12, and before we do our 3-year plan, you have also completed year 13. And you complete it actually in between years 3 and 14, and it begins with year 14. What we're doing is we're trying to predict what's going to happen in years 14, 15, and 16. This 3-year plan measures your ability to predict your performance based on a chosen strategy for a longer period than just simply 1 year, as we've been doing up to this time. The 3-year plan is a prediction of the future, so consider that an investor will make his or her investment decisions based on how well you can provide a return on their equity investment. Therefore, they want to understand where the management of the company predicts it will be over the course of 3 years. This means that you must lock in your prediction during the first year of the plan. For this year, or for this example, it is year 14. You'll make all of your performance predictions in that year. Then as each year happens, your actual results will be compared to those that you predicted. The closer your prediction, the better the score for your plan. The 3-year plan is graded at the conclusion of each of the 3 years. This is in addition to your normal grading for each decision year. You'll compare your targeted or predicted outcome for each of these performance measures to the actual outcome. The closer your target and the actual outcomes are, the higher the score. So your score is based on 2 elements. The first is how accurate was your prediction. The closer your prediction, the better. As seen in the highlight, the 3-year plan targeted a 30% higher earnings per share than the minimum investor's expectation. However, your actual results only came in at 20% greater. Wasn't exactly what you predicted, but it was very close. Therefore, you would earn 19 out of the 20 points. Didn't quite hit the target, but you're pretty close. I'd like you to also note that preparing a pro forma is difficult. Therefore, if you can earn scores of 16 in this area, you're doing quite well. The second way that we grade based on the 3-year plan is going to be on how well you're actually able to meet the general investor's expectations. In other words, you cannot lowball your predictions into easily attainable results. As seen in the highlight, you met your target of 10% growth. You predicted 10% and you actually hit it. But you only earned 18 points. You may think you should have scored 20 because you actually met the expectation. Well, the investor expects a minimum stock growth price or stock growth expectation of 7%. So they wanted to see this number at minimum to be 10 or 7%. Well, you set it at 10%, and that's fine. If you had hit the 7%, you would have earned only 16 points over here, which is fine. But this 10% isn't quite enough to earn you the full 20 points. What you needed to do to earn the full 20 points would to have a growth target of 30%. That would earn you the entire 20 points. So you have to go a little bit beyond what you believe the investor actually wants. So to better understand the scoring criteria, I refer you back to our syllabus. In the syllabus, it breaks down the number of points you would achieve and what it would take to get there. So you want to refer to the syllabus to know how this grading works. Generally speaking, if you're able to score somewhere between 16 and 20 points, anywhere in this range, 16 being what I expect, that's a decent score. Anything higher than 16 is even better for you. So how do we access the 3-year plan? Well, you access the 3-year plan from the corporate lobby, and it will come available once year 14 decisions are made available. You also need to note that the 3-year plan is locked after year 14 is completed because, of course, you cannot go back into the past to repredict what's going to happen. So the very first step is establishing your strategic vision. You would simply enter your strategic vision in this space here, and the directions would be included above. The next step, step number 2, is to set your targets for your earnings per share, return on equity, credit rating, image rating, and your stock price growth. And that would all be entered here. Since this is known as the business strategy game, it's up to you to determine the best strategy to fulfill your vision. Each of the major generic strategies is highlighted on the screen. Take careful consideration and determine which strategy is most effective for your company that matches your vision. So you might want to read through each of them, and if you need to do a little bit of more research, it provides you with the actual title of the strategy for you to look up. This portion of the 3-year plan lays out projections of actual shoe sales, revenues, costs, and profit for each of your 4 geographic regions. You'll do this for each of the 3 years in the plan. So I encourage you to please refer to the 3-year plan help document that is provided within the help screens of the simulation. And the results of your 3-year plan will be used when I calculate your simulation grades. So for assignment 4.1b, I will grade the results of years 14 and 15, and for assignment 5.1, it'll be graded for the results of year 16. And that wraps up the 3-year plan. Thank you.